Horror Nights construction has begun, and the addition of 2 new maze locations could mean we are losing the Backlot forever. All this and more on the season premiere of The Hauntline. What's up, everyone, and welcome to Season 3 of The Hauntline. Today, we're here at Universal Studios Hollywood to come and check out all of the Horror Nights construction happening in the park. And it just so happens that today, Horror Night Nightmares dropped a brand new speculation map for both Orlando and Hollywood. Which, by the way, if you enjoy Horror Nights speculation, you definitely want to give HN Nightmares a follow on Twitter. They are speculation wizards. I mean, heck, take a look at the 2021 speculation map for Hollywood. On version 2, they basically had the entire event predicted. So, spoiler warning, if you do like speculation that ends up being pretty accurate, you want to give these guys a follow. Our first stop is over here at the Curious George parking lot, where we can get an excellent view at last year's new maze location that housed 2 mazes. On version 1 of the map, we saw the Scarecrow original maze being predicted, alongside with the Weeknd also taking up vacancy in this spot. But now in version 2, you can see that Scarecrow has pretty much stayed the same. And now, in place of the Weeknd, we have the returning An American Werewolf in London. Last time we saw An American Werewolf in London, it was in 2014. And honestly, I'm not mad about this maze returning at all. It was beautiful inside and out. Lots of good scares, lots of good puppetry going on. Back in 2014, American Werewolf in London was located in the Jurassic Park queue. Now, of course, it's over in the new spot. I think it takes up around the same footprint, so maybe there won't be a lot of changes. But hey, 2021 did have repeat mazes with slight changes to them, so fingers crossed. And of course, we got a really good look at the rumored Scarecrow maze facade, which honestly looks phenomenal. I am super excited to walk through this. They did have a maze that was Scarecrow themed in Orlando, and they do say that that is one of the scariest mazes they've ever had in Orlando. So it'll be interesting to see what Hollywood's version is like. Well, now it's time to head into the park. Let's see what we can see in there. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice!
Yeah, baby, yeah!
Our first stop is here at Waterworld. Crazy to think that this whole queue becomes a maze. There's no signs of any construction just yet. There is a pretty big change between versions of the speculation map for this Waterworld location. First, it was being predicted that the Evil Dead would go in this spot, but now in version 2 of the map, we see that Candyman might make an appearance in the Waterworld queue. Now, to be honest with you, I don't really see Candyman happening. The movie was incredible. If you haven't seen the movie yet, definitely go out and watch it. But it does deal with some pretty heavy themes, especially for the time that the movie came out. So I don't know. I really don't see Candyman happening, although I do want it to happen. And more than anything, I think I'm really, really bummed that Halloween 3 is now gone, completely gone from the picture. I'm fairly certain that in 2021, we were absolutely going to get a maze themed to Halloween 3. I would have loved to seen what Universal would have done with this property. It's an oddball movie. I know fans of the Halloween franchise aren't really big fans of it. However, I think it would have translated to a maze pretty well, and I'm bummed to see that we're not going to get a chance to see it this year. However, again, these maps change, and I hope that one day we'll be able to see Halloween 3 as a maze at Horror Nights. I can only assume that in the following weeks we'll be seeing construction walls going up around here, and all these stanchions will be gone. For now, nothing much. It's the monster and his bride together once again. on the list is the Walking Dead, or the former site of the Walking Dead attraction. Now, rumor has it that the Walking Dead attraction has been gutted, and this is now just the former site of it, and they're going to use the Soundstage area inside for a new maze. Now, this spot also saw a pretty big change in terms of the versions of the maps. Version 1 of the speculation map predicted killer clowns from outer space to be in this spot, but now version 2 of the map is predicting the Evil Dead to make a comeback in the former Walking Dead attraction footprint. Now, for years, for seasons now, I have been an advocate of seeing the Walking Dead gone from the Horror Nights picture. But now that there are rumors that the Walking Dead attraction has been completely gutted, I'm kind of gutted myself, funny enough. I find myself feeling kind of nostalgic and bummed that I didn't get to go through it one last time in 2021. I got some footage of it, but I could have gotten more. But hey, rest in peace, the Walking Dead attraction. You've had a long run. Now the question in my mind is, will they be basing this Evil Dead maze off of the 1981 version or the 2013 version? I do remember being absolutely blown away by the 2013 version. It was super scary. The set pieces were really incredible, and they had some really awesome effects in the maze itself. I mean, heck, who knows? Maybe it's going to be just kind of an amalgam of both. But one thing's for sure, I'm very, very excited for mazes going into this former Walking Dead attraction footprint, because it's a huge building. It's 2 stories, and I'm hoping that means that they're going to get really, really crazy in terms of scale, like Universal Orlando does with their facades and their set pieces, because a lot of them actually are in sound stages, so they can really go big and wide with their set pieces. So fingers crossed that they're going to do the same thing in this Walking Dead attraction location, because there's definitely some great potential there. The next stop in our journey is right between Mel's Diner and the Palace Theater, the Parisian Courtyard, where, as you can hear, they are hard at work on the alleged return of La Llorona. There's no mistaking it. The tower definitely matches up to the bell tower from La Llorona. In fact, as you can see from this photo by @Kevin_Castro22 on Twitter, since our visit, more detail has gone into the alleged La Llorona facade, and it's pretty uncanny. The resemblance is incredibly uncanny. Now, of course, that begs the question once again, will there be new scenes added, or is it going to be kind of an exact repeat of the 2012 version of the maze? In 2011, there was, the first version of the maze, and then in 2012, they reworked the ending a little bit. They added some effects. They changed some things. So there's definitely potential that Murdy may once again kind of revisit the flow of this maze and hopefully give us some new scares, some new rooms. But either way, I'm pretty excited for it to make a comeback. Currently standing outside of the Castle Theater, aka Stage 56, which typically hosts a special effects show, but it seems like it's not running right now. But this will most likely become the home of the Jabberwockies once again this year for Horror Nights 2022. Now we're about one level down on the Universal Starway, getting the best view possible of the rumored Mummy versus Wolfman maze that is, funny enough, right by the Mummy show building. So what's interesting is that this year, it definitely appears as though they will be flipping the entrance and the exit to the maze. So typically in the past, you would have entered kind of back over here, but now this is clearly the entrance facade, which leads me to believe that perhaps we will not get any mazes in the backlot at all, because typically you would kind of walk down this way to get to the backlot mazes, which is a long walk that kind of sucked, but so I'm kind of glad that we're not doing it this year, perhaps. But it'll be interesting to see how everything flows operationally. I guess they'll probably just kind of queue us up in this area over here, which is typically where they queue us up. And then when we exit out here, we'll probably be exiting out back that way. Now what's interesting is that there is also a rumor that there's going to be a new maze location behind the Transformers building and also behind Soundstage 29, which is kind of back over in this area over here. And you can kind of see where there is a little bit of construction going on. But thanks to Kevin Castro, once again, holding it down for us, we have a very good view of the construction currently happening behind Soundstage 29. It's very evident they're clearing a lot of space behind that building, behind the Transformers building. And it definitely seems like where the bungalows are, if they clear those, a maze could definitely fit in that spot. This new maze spot only appeared in version 2 of the speculation map, because before it was speculated that Jordan Peele's Nope and Universal Monsters' The Mummy were going to be the only two mazes down on the lower lot. But now version 2 of the map has us losing Nope, with The Weeknd moving into Soundstage 29. The rumored Mummy maze is now The Mummy versus Wolfman with music by Slash, which could potentially be another shared idea with our friends over in Orlando. And also Slash let it slip that he is once again working on some music for Halloween Horror Nights, and I can only assume that it would once again be for a Universal Monsters maze, although it could very well be for another one of the originals that's in the park. And speaking of slip-ups, The Weeknd has had two very interesting posts about Halloween Horror Nights. One where The Weeknd's account directly retweeted an HN Nightmares post about the Weeknd being very horror-inspired, and another where The Weeknd's Twitter just straight up name-dropped Halloween Horror Nights. So it'll be very interesting to see if this comes true. I think it would be a lot of fun to have a non-metal or non-rock music artist represented at Horror Nights. And if it's going to be anybody, I think The Weeknd would fit very, very well. And finally, Killer Klowns from Outer Space 2 is rumored to be the maze that's going to be behind Soundstage 29. Now, the 2 is a very interesting little detail there. The last time that we saw that was when HN Nightmares predicted Pandora's Box 2, which ended up just being a repeat of Pandora's Box. So now, with the 3 mazes back on the lower lot, and with the new maze location behind the Curious George parking lot, it'll be interesting to see if from here on out, Universal no longer uses the Backlot at all as a maze location for the event, seeing as how they're probably favoring major productions renting out those spaces instead of using them for Horror Nights. Well, that's going to do it for our time here at Universal Studios Hollywood. It was a blast getting caught up in all the Horror Nights action. We'll keep you guys posted with all the construction and speculation as it comes in. Be sure and follow us on Instagram and Twitter for all the latest haunt news. Also, be sure and visit us on the web for links to all of our stuff. And stand by for our podcast, which has some very exciting things coming your way. Until next time, thank you for calling the Hotline.